Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on Elite Academy. And I'm glad that yesterday's video has been liked by most of you, and I have been getting many comments personally and comments on YouTube video itself. So basically, why you guys have liked it is because the question was contemporary. However, whatever topic we are discussing, UPSC has asked somewhere in the exam, and we are taking those questions and using them as anchor to revise important concepts. So yesterday's question was contemporary, keeping in mind COVID and its related vaccines. Okay, and the exam was conducted on 10th April. So yesterday I told you it was on March. No, it was conducted on 10th April itself, very recent. It was a combined defense services exam. So today what I have done, today also I have taken a question which can fall under science and technology because it is related to space. And we know that how much UPSC love space, be it concept, facts of any mission, and especially related information from current affairs. So UPSC has asked question on Goldilocks zones. UPSC has asked questions on expansion of universe, space missions. They have given me as the followings, which the planets and which of the would be the correct match related to that particular planet's space mission, then Earth's speed of rotation. So like that, they have every time they have been asking questions from the space. Okay, so we have discussed information related to Earth's atmosphere in detail in our video of day 3. So link will be provided in the description box for those who have not seen it, or you can press the I button to check it. Now we will dig deeper into the concepts related to space. So this question has, if you observe and read the question, it has the information related to planet Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Kuiper belt, and Oort cloud. Okay, so we will conceptually discuss so that you will develop clarity and you will get good hold if the questions are being asked on this topic by UPSC. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we will understand basic concepts related to solar system. So we'll do a quick revision, basic revision we'll do. So as you can see in this on this screen, I have kept a diagram where all the planets of the solar system, including the Oort cloud, and where you can see it is written Voyager 2. There is somewhere our Kuiper belt. When the Neptune's orbit will end, then Kuiper belt starts. So MVEMJSUN. So in NCERT they have given a phrase for it. My very efficient mother just served us nuts. So it is about it is a mnemonic about 8 planets. So in a sentence you can remember about 8 planets. Yes. So no more Pluto is a planet. It is a dwarf planet. So you can understand it with the help of this image as well. So this is about our solar system. You can see the comets, Kuiper belt, asteroid belt is there between Mars and Jupiter. So starting from Sun, we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, then asteroid belt. So this question has been also asked by UPSC many times, that asteroid belt lies between which two planets. So it is between Mars and Jupiter. Be very clear about it. Then Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune is there. And after Neptune, we have Kuiper belt. Okay. Another information which you should know, for example, let's take the planet Venus. Venus is known as Earth's twin because of its shape, size, and density. It is also known as morning star, and it is also brightest star. And Venus is the closest to Earth. So whatever information or whatever line I have just told, these are very important because UPSC has asked in previous years that why Venus is known as Earth's twin. Which star is known as morning star? Which star is known as the brightest star? Which star is the closest star to the Earth? Closest planet to the Earth. Sorry, not a star. Okay. So these were the information related to Venus. Now coming to Earth, Earth is known as a blue planet. It is 1 astronomical unit away from Sun, and from Sun, light from Sun takes 8 minutes 20 seconds to travel. Okay, from light, one ray of light from Sun, it takes 8 minutes 20 seconds to reach Earth. Okay, then before asteroid belt, whatever planets are there, that is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, they are known as the rocky planets, and the other planets after asteroid belt, that is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, they are known as Jovian planet, or the planets made up of gas. Okay. Coming to asteroid belt, we have discussed already. And remember JSU. It is given in the NCERT, I think in 6th class. JSU is Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus. They have rings around it. This is the information of NCERT. But latest information is that Neptune is also having rings. Pluto, no more. It is a planet, so it is a dwarf planet. Okay. Another extra information which you should know is, have a look at the image on the screen. So you can see the planets, they have been shown with their axis of rotation. So if you observe Venus, Uranus and Venus, so can you observe that they are not rotating east to west? Observe Earth's axis and observe Venus axis. Compare both. They are rotating in opposite direction. Also, you see the tilt of Uranus and how it is rotating. So it is also not rotating like Earth. So remember it, UV, like UV rays. So these UV means Uranus and Venus, they are not rotating like other planets are rotating in a direction. So they are rotating opposite in comparison with, let's say, Earth or any other. So if you will observe other planets rotational axis, that is, they all are same, but U and V, they are rotating in opposite direction. Okay, so this is the information which you should know. Now we will discuss information related question. So this was the question, and in question, if you read the first statement is talking about Jupiter's Trojan asteroids. Then we have Saturn's ring and moons. Next is Mars's atmosphere, Kuiper belt, Oort cloud. So each of the word we are going to discuss, and every word is very important. Okay, so let's start the discussion. Now we will discuss about the information related to the question. So as you can see, we have the brightest spot or the dot on the image is our sun, and the orbits of Mars, Mercury, Venus, and Earth around it. Then we have main asteroid belt, and this asteroid belt is basically between Mars and Jupiter, as we have already discussed. So what are asteroids? Basically, asteroids are hot properties of solar system these days. Why? Because the space agencies are trying to explore them, mining agencies are interested in getting minerals from them, and planetary scientists, they are interested in understanding the role which the asteroids have played in early solar system. So these asteroids are rocky objects, and they are too small to be called as planets or moons, but they orbit in the same function as the planets are orbiting or revolving around sun. So majority of the asteroids in our solar system seem to be orbiting in the asteroid belt, but there are other group of asteroids which are not orbiting in a particular asteroid belt, but they are orbiting in the orbit in which the planets are orbiting. So we have Trojans. So these the images, the area which has been highlighted by the red circle, you can see these are called as the Trojan asteroids, and these Trojan asteroids, they derive their name from the legendary Trojan Wars from Greek mythology, and nowadays planetary scientists simply call them as Trojans. So these Trojans, and when we understand them from asteroids point of view, they will be orbiting in the same orbit in which the planet is orbiting. So they will be either ahead of the planet or behind the planet. First time they were discovered in 1906, and they either lead or follow the planet, as I've told, or the moon by 60 degrees. And these positions are known as L4 or L5. Let me show it to you. So these are known as the Lagrange points. These are basically positions where gravitational effect from two large objects, so one is sun and a planet in this case, will hold a small object like an asteroid in a stable orbit. So these points which you can see, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. So these are the positions because of sun and the planets gravitational forces, their effect, the orbits, the asteroids will be stable. They will neither fall or not go away, rather they will be stable. So with respect to every planet, we have Lagrange point. So here I have shown Earth's Lagrange point. I also have the, okay, so this image is of the spacecraft related to Jupiter. So what I was telling was that Lagrange point will be there with respect to every planet, and the Trojans, they stay there. So Trojan asteroids are famous because they were related with Jupiter for the first time. But Trojans are orbiting in Venus also, Earth also, Mars also. Jupiter and Uranus and Neptune also have Trojans. Okay. However, very recently in 2011, only we have got to know about the Trojan asteroid of which is orbiting along Earth's path, that is 60-degree in front of us. So it is also in the Lagrange point, which I have shown on the screen earlier. Okay, so this way Earth also has a Trojan asteroid. Now let's discuss the missions on Jupiter. So NASA's Galileo was the first spacecraft to orbit Jupiter. Why we are discussing this? Because UPSC has habit of asking this also, that which space mission is associated with which planet. Okay, so Juno was Juno spacecraft, as it has been shown, it was by NASA, and it reached in the Jupiter's atmosphere in 2016. There is an upcoming project which is known as JUICE. So that is Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. It is scheduled in May 2022 by European Space Agency, and it will focus on Jupiter's moons, that is Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa. So remember this also. Sometimes UPSC has given that which these famous moons are moons of which planet. So I told the names: Ganymede, Callisto, and Europa. Okay. So the goal and of this mission is to map the surfaces of these moons, interiors, or the potential surface oceans, or basically investigating their habitability. Okay. So this was all about Jupiter, and Jupiter Trojan asteroid was given in the question, so we have discussed that. Now we will discuss about Saturn. So Saturn's rings, basically the Saturn has so many rings. So if you see this area which I am highlighting now is D ring, C ring, B ring, A ring, F ring, G ring. So these are the rings, and from planet outward they are D, C, B, A, F, G. Okay, so D ring you can say is closest to the Saturn, and the main rings are A, B, C. Okay, and they're not like only these rings are there. We have so many rings around Saturn, and the rings are about you can say 4 lakh kilometers wide. That is a distance from Earth to Moon. Yes, but these rings are as little as 100-meter thick, and they range from particles too tiny to see to particles the size of a bus. And scientists think that they are icy snowballs or covered rocks. So there are actually speculations and observations that there can be many rings, maybe 500 to 10,000, 1,000. And there are also gaps in the rings. So these gaps are called Cassini division. So the Cassini division, why I am asking you to focus here is because this name is important. I will tell you why. So these rings, they look like something like this. So this is original image, gray or brown color. So this is by one of the space mission. It looks like this. So the two brightest spot which you can highlight in this image, they are the Saturn's moon. Okay. Now, in order to understand about Saturn, we had this mission called Cassini-Huygens. So Cassini-Huygens, it was launched in 1997 and the project ended in 2017. So sometimes this question is important that, okay, this particular space mission is related to which planet? Okay, so remember this. So we discussed about the rings and we have discussed about the space mission. So these rings are very complex. Still the project is going on there to understand their nature. So to understand them, they are a group of tiny ringlets around Saturn, and they are made up of chunks of ice and rocks. Okay. And Saturn, like Jupiter, Saturn is also a ball of hydrogen and helium. So they are gaseous planets, as I told you in the starting itself. So they are made up of hydrogen and helium. Now let's understand about Mars. So this is Mars for us. Mars is also known as red planet, and Martian atmosphere was the focus of the question. So Martian atmosphere consists of approximately 96% of carbon dioxide and then 1.9% of argon, nitrogen, traces of free oxygen and carbon monoxide. So like that, water, methane, among other gases. Since 2014, the projects, especially from India, has been in news on with respect to Mars. So the famous project of ISRO on Mars was MOM, that is Mars Orbiter Mission, and India became the fourth country to successfully launch any project spacecraft with respect to Mars. Okay, other planets, the famous ones are the Curiosity rover by NASA. Basically, it is a rover which went there to collect organic chemicals, and it has found that organic chemicals have been detected in the powder drilled by the rock. So it was there to collect the evidences. Okay, then even based on the deuterium to hydrogen radio studies, much of water at Gale crater on Mars was found to have been lost during the ancient times. So the traces of water or evidences of water on Martian with respect to Martian atmosphere has been found, and it was believed that water was there and it has been lost during the ancient time. Also, we have this MAVEN. MAVEN is also Mars atmosphere and volatile evolution mission to understand the Earth's Mars atmosphere. So these were the important projects, and India's was the important one because it was from India. Yes. Now we will understand about the Kuiper belt. So as you can see, this is a Kuiper belt where Neptune's orbit is ending, Kuiper belt is starting. So similar to asteroid belt, the Kuiper belt is a region of leftovers from the solar system of early history, and like asteroid belt, it is also been shaped by giant planet, although it is more thick disk like a donut, you can say, than a thin belt. So it is not a thin belt, it is like a donut. And the first mission to explore Kuiper belt is New Horizon. Remember it, New Horizon. Okay, and it was there. It went to study Pluto in 2015, and further it went on to explore Kuiper belt world. Okay, so we discussed about Kuiper belt. Now let's have a look on Kuiper belt with the help of other image. So this is also Kuiper belt. So you can see where Neptune's orbit is ending, Kuiper belt is starting. So this was about Kuiper belt. What is Kuiper belt? You can say it is the outermost limit of our solar system. So that way you can remember. The last information is about Oort cloud. Oort cloud, as you can see, it is like a sphere. It is most distant region in our solar system. Even the nearest object in the Oort clouds are thought to be many times farther from Sun than the outer reaches of the Kuiper belt. So once Kuiper belt is ending, in fact, after that Oort cloud is starting, and that too very far. Okay, unlike the orbits of planets and Kuiper belt, which lie mostly in the same flat disk around the sun, the Oort cloud is believed to be a giant spherical shell surrounding the rest of the solar system. So as you can see, it is like a spherical shell, and it is like a big thick walled bubble made up of icy pieces of space debris and the sizes of mountains and sometimes larger. Still, however, we are not very sure, and the project scientists are studying this. Okay, you can understand it with the help of other image as well. Okay, so this image, you can see the Oort cloud is like a sphere, and our solar system is like a disk. Okay, planetary region. Let's understand it with the help of this image also. So the sun in between of Oort cloud, so it is like a dot, and further if we understand that dot, that is solar system, so it will be something like a disk, and our Oort cloud is like a sphere, and Oort cloud is considered as the source of most of comets. Okay, comet question has been asked on Comet also by UPSC. So do have your own research on Comet. Now coming to the question. So considering this question, now I will read out the question. The question was asking to study which one of the following was a spacecraft launched that would be farthest from the sun and would run exclusively on the solar power. So basically it is talking about Lucy spacecraft, and it was launched by NASA, and it was first ever mission to explore distant asteroids and seek out the origin of our solar system. And it was launched on Trojan, Jupiter's Trojan. So as you can see, now you can make sense, the green ones are Trojans and they are in the orbit of Jupiter on the image. So this Lucy spacecraft was basically to understand about, the answer is A, Jupiter's Trojan asteroid. Okay. Now you must be wondering why Lucy name, why I am discussing this is because Lucy name has been given has been kept on the name of Lucy. Lucy was the fossilized human ancestor, and whose skeletons provide unique insights into humanity's evolution. And the name was given Lucy. So you can see the skeleton which has been found. It was the skeleton of face area, and the image has been a makeover image has been made. So Lucy, however, we only found 40% of a female of hominine species of Australopithecus. Those who know about the human evolution, they know who are Neanderthal and who are Australopithecus. So Lucy belonged to a species of Australopithecus afarensis. Okay, so that technically you should not know, but at least remember she was Australopithecus, and it was around 3.2 million year old ape, Lucy. Okay, though her remains were only about 40% and not complete. So this Lucy's discovery, it told a lot of understanding about human evolution, about arm, about the feet, about molar and other teeth, about bone structure. So that's why we were able to relate that it is one of the pioneer ancestor in human evolution. Why I am discussing this in detail is because UPSC has asked questions like this in 2019. The question was, the word Denisovan is sometimes mentioned in media in reference to what? So the answer was an early human species. This question, the exam was conducted in June, and the question was, this information was in news. As you can see, it was in news on May 1st, 2019. Like Denisovans lived in Tibetan plateau, fossil evidences has been found. The question was again, this information was again in news in January also, 2019. So these two news articles I have kept from the Hindu, that Denisovans may have been dwellers, study has been found. And who were they? So Denisovans, they were cousin of Neanderthals. So if you have read this piece of information, then you can easily mark the answer, that is, they were an early human species. Okay. So why I am discussing this in this much detail? Because this question was asked by UPSC in Civil Services Prelims only in itself in 2019. So sometimes we tend to ignore such information. See how the name of a spacecraft was Lucy, and Lucy was kept. This name was kept on the after the Australopithecus, the first human ancestor which was discovered, and how the information from the current affairs is being asked by UPSC in the civil services examination. So be very alert, be very careful, and don't miss such information. So that's why I have discussed it in that detail. So hope today you have got much clarity and related to the concepts of space, and we have discussed a lot of information, and make use of it. And on the same lines, you also prepare your own notes. So enjoy, take care, and bye-bye.